Hey guys, I've got a bit of a video today. It's a little bit of a different one. I'm going to be doing a sneaker review, and I travel with 4 pairs of sneakers. 2 sneakers that I use for my walking and my jogging, and 2 sneakers that I use for my running. So I want to put it out there, I am not a sneaker expert, I'm not trained, I haven't done any kind of training on the particular brands, types. It's just what I've learned in my first year of running. I want to put that out, it's my first year of running. Now I listen to a lot of the guys that have been running for many, many years, and I suggest to everybody out there, go into a proper sports store and get your feet sized. That's very, very important. Sized, shaped, work out what you are. I found out I am a neutral shoe. I found out my 10-year-old son needs a support shoe. You get shoes that overarch in, you get all types. And it's important to find that out, because getting the right shoe is important. And once you get sized, then you have an idea, and you can go and buy shoes online. If you have a smaller sports store, then you have more options buying them online. I definitely have bought a lot more shoes offline as of recent than online. Now, like I said, I travel with 4 pairs of shoes, and a good little reminder, travel with some bags. I put 3 of the shoes in bags into my suitcase, and then I wear a pair. There's my 4 pairs. There's lots of little tips and tricks I've learned. Having smelly sneakers in your bag is not good, because you've got clothes in there. And when you're traveling with merchandise, shirts like I do and stuff, I don't want people smelling my shoes. So I'm going to talk about my favorite pair of shoes. These are my favorite runners. The blue Asics Nimbus 24. Now, these are the FF Blast, great cushioning. These are known, they're known to be one of the best runners for Asics for long distance. Now, I love them. I've been using these for many months now, and this is my 2nd pair of Nimbus 24s. What I like about them is I did 31 Ks in them today. It's still a little bit wet. So 31 Ks, and at the end of that 31, it still feels like the beginning. It felt amazing. So definitely got no problem with the spring in that and all of that. They feel good to me. Comfortable, my feet don't roll, nothing. They are a great neutral shoe. Now, it's worth mentioning there, I did talk about the spring. So with your shoes, the reason I travel with so many shoes is your cushion in them doesn't generally regenerate in 24 hours. That's why normally you should have at least 2 pairs, and you're then using 1 pair one day, 1 pair the next. Now, because I do a morning session and an afternoon session, sometimes I don't always do 2 a day, but that gives me 4 pairs. On top of that, sometimes they might be extra wet, sometimes they might need to be washed. So it gives you the options to maybe rotate between 2 or 3, 4 pairs for me. So that's one of the reasons why I travel with so many pairs as well. Now, my other pair of runners are the Asic Nimbus Lite 3s. These are a very cool shoe. What I didn't know about them before I was reading today is they're actually recycled material. Didn't know that until I was reading up on the specs and that today, just to top up on my information. Now, I don't like the laces on this. They tend to come undone when I'm running, so I have to double tie them. That's a little bit you've got to work out. If you're running and you're running for a specific time, having laces come undone shits you off. Now, I've tested elastic laces. They are amazing. They're no good if you're on a plane, because they push in and they restrict your feet. But on my first Nimbus 24s, I actually ran those rainbow laces. They're a bit of fun. They were on a black sneaker, so they gave it a bit of life. But for these, really good cushioning, and I like these for all forms of sport, including the running. Asics Nimbus Lite 3s. They are enjoyable, and knowing that they're recycled, that's awesome. It's good that they're putting it back into and making good shoes from that. Now, I'll talk about my last shoe that I've got with me, because I've got many other pairs of Asics at home. I just love Asics. I don't know what it is. I used them for 15 years before STEPN. They were good support for me, and I've just grown to those. And once I have a brand I love, I generally stick with it. But for the Asics, I have tested a whole lot of different ranges of shoes, and there's many that I didn't like. I'll talk about a couple of those at the end. So these are the GT 2000s. Now, what's funny is when I was researching them today, is it overarching? They use these for. Now, I'm sure they came up as a shoe for neutral shoes. These are an amazing walker. They feel good, they're light, the laces are great, but they're a really enjoyable shoe. I can jog in these happily. They are actually a running shoe, but I use them as my walkers and joggers. I could imagine that I would be happy to use these running, but because I'm so happy with my Nimbus 24s, I stick with those. So these to me are a really great solid shoe. And both my children, my stepchildren, both of those kids use them. At 8 and 10, our 8-year-old's got very specific for his size. My eldest stepson Riley, he's a 9.5 shoe. I'm a 10.5, so he just uses my old one on an off day. You'll see I've got two different colors. This is something that Luca showed me. I love it. It's a talk point with the shoes, and you have a bit of fun with it. And people go, oh, are they the same shoe? Yeah, they're the same shoe. But because now they're paired off, they've done different kilometers to my other pair of shoes, I won't put them back together to match them. But in saying that, these are really great for our ambassador uniforms. They match them oh so well. Now, I've tried different types of Asic shoes. I did not like the Kayanos. They're a horrible shoe. Your shoe rolled in. I just didn't like how your foot rolls in, especially my right foot, I found. Also with that, I've tried the carbon fiber plates, the Metaspeed Skies and the Magic Speeds. Magic Speeds are definitely my favorite carbon plate, and I use those for my 5-kilometer racing. I did use them in a 17-kilometer racing. I don't like the loading that it puts on my shins and how they felt after that 17K race. So generally speaking, 5 and 10K is what I use them for. In saying that, I saw there was a lady and she won, I believe, at the Cairns marathon event that we had 2 months ago, whenever it was, and I ran my first half marathon. She used it for the whole half marathon. So I think it's definitely about getting out and finding what fits for you. If you want to use that shoe, just understand how it works. Different models, 23 Nimbus, I haven't tried. The 24 was 10 grams lighter, and I really like the 24. So I haven't gone back to test the 23. I'm really happy with the 24. When the 25 comes out, I'll test that. Don't know when that is. So sometimes checking between different shoes is important. If you find a model you like, maybe you stock up on it. When I buy my Nimbus 24s next time, I'm going to buy 2 pairs and make sure I've got some in the bank for later. I also, going back to the carbon fibers, I've got the Magic Speeds and the Meta Speed Sky. I think the Magic Speeds are up to 2. Now, would I test another set? Yes, but I don't need to because my other shoes have still got good time. The Meta Speed Skies, I like them, but for whatever reason, I don't like them as much as the Magic Speeds. I really enjoy the Magic Speeds, maybe because they've given me my fastest time running. I use those, like I said, for my 5K racing, my park runs, just to see. They are a super light shoe. Oh my God, they feel like you're running on air. One thing I wanted to mention was socks. You may see these beautiful STEPN socks. Now, these are non-official. I got these when I went to Korea, and I'm trying to get an extra, let's say 200 to 300 pairs, but I'm just trying to work on that. What I like about these is they're reinforced thick socks. So generally speaking, the thicker socks make good running socks. Now, these have got reinforced heel, reinforced toes. They are a fantastic sock and they look good. The kids absolutely love them. But I wanted to talk about my running Injinjis. So Injinjis are 5-finger toes. 5-finger socks. Now there's a fifth one there stuck. He's up there, but he is in there. So the 5-toe socks. Now, what I like about these is they are super great for stopping chafing, really good for humidity, just a good long distance sock. Not for everybody. Some people don't like putting them on. They're frustrating, they're weird. Maybe they've got a toe that's a little bit out of place. For me, I use these on my half marathons. So I'm only doing half marathons at the moment. I ran 31 this morning and I used a set of Injinjis. So for me, these were great. It was warm here in Vietnam, so definitely a great sock. Make sure you get the right running socks to go with your shoes. They are an amazing capability, and it's about using the right gear. I think another sock is called 2XU. That is a very good compression sock, and I like how that makes my feet feel. I like how I run in them, but they're a lower on the cusp, so your sock is only just above the arch. I like to have a higher up sock, because if you get that running and the sock goes lower and you start chafing up, causing yourself injuries may affect your day-to-day of being able to earn your GST and do your session the next day. Making sure that you use the right gear and preventing injuries. There was one time I had some grass. It wasn't this sock. It was, let's say, shorter tails. Now I got some grass clippings on the inside, and then that rubbed on my shoe and in my sock, and it caused that to bleed. And then it got quite bad. I'm being an Aussie male. I just like, I she'll be right. But then I ended up having to band-aid that up for the better part of 2 weeks, and that almost made me unable to move. But that's my wrap up. I absolutely love the Nimbus 24s. Nimbus Lites, I reckon, are a great shoe. The GT 2000s, you see me in many photos with these because I really do enjoy them. They're a great walking, jogging, running shoe, all-rounder. Outside of that, definitely keen to try some more, but I'm very happy with those particular brands. Like I said, I'm going to be buying 2 pairs of Nimbus 24s next. I've heard the 23s are good. I know there's plenty of other new shoes coming out. If you get a pair of shoes, you don't like them, then get another pair. Maybe take them back. This is why it's good to do a test. A good reputable sporting store should take back a pair of shoes that you've worn once for a kilometre maybe, if it didn't feel right. If you're getting bad legs afterwards because you've changed pairs of sneakers, maybe you need to go back. Maybe you need to try a different set. But yeah, hope you've enjoyed. Thank you, Mother, for the rabbits.
Yeah.